Hi everybody, this is Mark again. I'm going to take you through how to use the campus, the digital campus, to extend and move your lessons forwards and make them more interesting and do more with what's possible. So what we did in our first lesson was I created a Genghis Khan activity in under a minute, if you remember. And it was pretty simple. It had a topic and it had some questions. Now, since I've been building that, I've added a few extra little features. I've changed the image at the front here simply by looking up Unsplash. You can also put your own logo in here or your own image as a background. Okay, try and keep the images small enough. You don't want big images, slow things down. The topic, I've anchored it so that as students are answering the questions, they get a flip. So I'll show you what that means. You flip and you get the topic. So it's there's things you can do to make it more friendly for students, like putting background colors in. If you have dyslexic children in your class, blue is a great color as a background. You might want to have single or short answer questions in a color and multiple choice questions in a color. These are all able to be changed simply by a simple click up here. It'll change it. If you want to change the order of your questions, it's a simple click to resequence them from one position to another. Okay, and you can also do that by looking at this cog icon over here, where you can change. You can keep the menu open so you can see what you can do at all times, or you can close it and just work with the menus. So the idea is to have it really flexibly working with you, not competing against you, and not having to wonder what to do next. Moving through the cards is down here. You can also move through the cards by going through here. Moving around the system is really straightforward. So let's see what else we can do. Now, on the information side, we've got some menus broken up into two main areas. Information is what we call text, image, video, or audio. These are cards that you can drop into any part of the sequence. The assessment cards, there are multiple ways to assess. We won't go through all of those now, but they're pretty obvious, multiple choice, yes, no, close questions. They're very quick to create and inject into this environment. So let's just do a couple of basic things. Let's go to information. You're always on a card. A card is always in focus, and that means it's the largest one on the screen. So if you want to add something, it'll always add after that. So I've wanted to add a video, and the video was from YouTube for Education, and we wanted to find if there was a YouTube from Education video on our friend Genghis Khan. That's all we have to do. YouTube videos are great because they're safe. Okay, they've been vetted. There's no ads. You find the one you like, add the video. It's in the card deck. Now you can sequence that down a card if you want, or up a card if you want. It's as simple as just clicking on the card, getting it into focus, and then moving it. You can also anchor it. Okay, so you can anchor a video, which means that every card after that anchor will have the video on the back of it. So user experience is all been thought through for you. All you have to do is make sure you've got the content you want to deliver in the sequence you want to deliver, and any extra help that you might want to give. So just for example, this card here, when was he born? 1162. Now, if you wanted to give students feedback if they got it wrong, you could say, look, this was in the second paragraph. You should have read it more clearly. You can say that right there, and they'll get that feedback if they get the answer wrong. Okay, so each card has got an ability to be very agile. You can change the preset answers that AI gave you. You can delete them. You can reorder them. You can add extra value. You can add image answers. So if you had a choice of, which one was the cat and you had three pictures, you can use images to have answer choices as opposed to text. It's simple click and do in Presto. There's no sort of like extra submenus where you're all the time going, file, edit, insert this. It's really straightforward, and you just find the card that you're on and add the value that you want to add. Images are obvious. Now images, just to give you an idea, we have Unsplash back here. So I want a picture of the Australian harbour. It's there, and you'll see that when you go to preview mode, you get the full card experience. So again, you can have an image with text, or you can have students with a full image of something. So this is where, things like experiments or maps or things you can really quickly put on a card have a great resolution on whatever device they're using, and have questions that follow it, and it all makes sense. If you wanted to add an audio card, now gets used a lot in language training, where we can record a teacher speaking French, Italian, whatever. Je m'appelle Marc, comme ça va? So I've just said something in French. If I had a question after that, I could anchor that card. The students have questions in English. They have to translate the French. I don't need to tell you all this. You're the teachers, okay? But this is where I'm just trying to open the imagination of what's possible with the power of the Presto platform. So information cards are really easy to put in. You've always got your little friend down here, the bot, who can help you do things like write 100 words on something else, and then you can grab that text and inject it into your card. So if I wanted to just get a quick 100 words on horses, because Genghis Khan's army ran on horses, okay, pardon the pun, but if I want to grab that and put that in as a text card, it's going to help me straight away and put in here basically my 100 words on horses. Now that can add value in any other way. So if you wanted to expand what you had originally built out with the bot with more text, you can use AI to gather that information for you, very quickly put it into a card, resequence it, move it around, and all the time be able to test what it's going to look like for a student. And you start to get a flow of your new deck, your new lesson inside the campus. And of course, you've got the ability to assign it straight away. So if you've got classes linked in here, like I do, I can assign it to my English class, and boom, everyone gets that campus lesson immediately. So it's a delightful platform where you can use your imagination. Now, assessment is as simple as I've been showing you with the other cards. So if you want to use a short answer, for example, it'll drop a format in here. Obviously, you've got your question here. You can use your microphone to record it. You've got the answer, again, microphone to record. Punctuation in marking is always a bugbear. Should you enforce a capital T if they're going to say the horses were used in Genghis Khan's army, or just take horses were used in Genghis Khan's army? This is where the keywords kick in. So if you have the keywords exactly what you're looking for, the students were marked on those keywords, okay? And we can include punctuation as a requirement for some discipline. Same with capitalization. It's again up to you. But as soon as you've completed this little card here, it's a live entity, assessment entity that'll auto score inside your campus lesson. So there's lots of different ways of using these modalities to derive what you're looking for in a Presto experience. And I'd encourage you just to play with, create a little lesson in campus straight away, add value to it, move it around, deploy it out to some colleagues. When you assign, you don't have to assign to a class. You can always assign to anonymous. Anonymous is fine. You just use designated to know who it is your audience you're assigning to is. Hit the assign button, and it'll give you a QR code. Now, as soon as you give that to a colleague, they've got access to it. As you can see here, you can also share to Google Classroom in single-click Teams, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp. If you've got a WhatsApp group running in your classroom, it's a great way to run a little LMS using WhatsApp. You can embed or you can copy a link. Now, these two will go into an LMS and launch your campus entity straight away from an LMS. So you've got lots of choices to create, lots of choices to deploy, and my next video will be more into the management of what happens once it gets going. How do you monitor who's doing what, and how you can add some more value to what's going on in your classroom. So stay tuned for the next video. Bye for now.